that 712.
If you're wondering what all this is about, you need to go check out my unboxing video where I talk all about this. New Guy's Garage has been waiting for almost 3 months for me to get to this. Here we go. This is my mechanical 600 CFM carburetor that I'll be using as a constant so that I can test to make sure the flow bench is accurate before we do a set of tests. So we're about to do that right now. We will be testing at 10 inches of vacuum, and then it will be calculated up to 20.4 inches of vacuum or depression, which is what a 4-barrel carburetor is tested at. And we'll do this every time. Here we go. We're going to call that 710. I forgot about this. We might as well, even though this is just the constant and we won't be testing it with this, it's just an interesting test. All right, I'll just hold it. Well, that's 719. All right, first test is with his 2.0, where he has shaped and reconfigured it all and done some of the little golf ball effects. This one is being tested just because this was his final iteration for this design. And then we'll go back and test the other stuff that he's gonna start all over again and make major improvements onto what he's done here. Okay, here we go. Okay. It might help if the throttle blades are open. All right, now we've got full throttle in it. Let's try this one more time. Kinda noisy. Ah, it's getting way noisy. $6.52. Actually, let's see what it does without it, even though this was supposed to be tested with it. About 2 CFM. Not enough to matter, but it might down the road when we start testing this other stuff. Okay, this is the highly modified 650. Well, I'm going to modify your carb a little bit because it shouldn't go over center. It shouldn't go that far back. It should be right there. So I got to do some adjustments before we do this test. Okay, that's much better. Get full throttle there and full throttle there without over centering it. Now I'll just get some string to hold these fully open and we'll get to testing. So we are at the highly modified 600 base that I just adjusted so the secondaries will stay wide open. Let's see what this one tells us, shall we? All right. Sounds quieter already. I'm going to call that 712. There wasn't a whole lot difference between the epoxied one and this one. But the quieter the air is, the better it flows and a whole lot less of turbulence that it is. This has way less turbulence than the epoxied one. Just my opinion. Okay, so now we're swapping out the highly modified 650 base for the stock. Let's do this right. 750 base. As you can see, them butterflies, they're a lot bigger. So this will be interesting. All right, just got to get some string and hold the throttles wide open and we'll do our next test. A 750 non-modified base installed and ready for our test. Here we go. Call that 715. So all things considering, the 750 had a much bigger throttle blade. I mean, it only gained 3 CFM, but there's no modifications to it whatsoever. So that shows the modification to the 600 or 650 butterflies showed a pretty good improvement. I guess we'll test it one more time and we'll put the velocity stack on it. This doesn't fit. It only fits his modified one, so I'll just have to hold it on. That was quite a bit of change. 732. 15, so that's 17 CFM from that. Okay, so we've got our numbers, we're done testing. But there's one caveat that I want you to understand. And it doesn't matter as long as all three are tested consistently. The vacuum port is open. The vacuum port is open, and the vacuum port on this one is open. So if they all have the same leak, if you will, they are still accurate in their testing. I didn't have vacuum plugs, and this one came with a vacuum plug on it, and I took it off so that they would all be consistent. They'd all run the same. I guess, just for giggles, let's see what happens when we plug that off. Interesting. With the throttles wide open, which I guess that makes sense. You don't create vacuum unless you close the throttle blades. But anyways, it only gained 2 CFM when I took my finger back off that vacuum port. Pretty interesting. We'll send these back, and he can decide what he's going to modify next and tell you more of what he did and how he did. And next time he sends them back, we'll do this all over again.